From one state premier under siege to another, and Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews copped another grilling today at his daily press conference, primarily from our own host, Peter Credlin, after yesterday's news that the Commonwealth Chief Medical Team had declared that Melbourne was no longer a hotspot, why Melbourne is still in lockdown and major decisions have not been made is still a great mystery. And it was Sky News' Peter Credlin who wanted the Premier to go one step further from calling a board of inquiry.
200 Victorians lost their lives on Black Saturday. We had a Royal Commission. Yet this case, we've had 800 Victorians lose their life linked to the second wave. As Professor Sutton said on Monday, the second wave comes from in and around hotel quarantine. Why not a Royal Commission in this circumstance now?
Whilst it's not for me to ask you questions, in order to understand the point you're making, where's the deficiency?
Why wouldn't you now have a Royal Commission?
I think I've dealt with that issue.
Why wouldn't you now have
today.
a Royal Commission and pick up contact tracing, testing, border management?
But see, that's...
Joining me now is Victorian Liberal MLC Edward O'Donoghue. Mr O'Donoghue, thank you very much for joining us.
Great to be with you, Chris.
Given the decision yesterday, which we heard through Greg Hunt, the Federal Health Minister, that the Chief Medical Officer team have said that Melbourne is no longer regarded as a hotspot, why the hell are these lockdowns still in place?
Well, look, I wish I could answer that question for you. What I know is my constituents are telling me every day they are desperate. Small businesses are going to the wall. The mental health of so many children in particular has been compromised because of this extended lockdown. And Victorians need certainty. They need certainty and hope. We're only 10 weeks from Christmas, and Victorians are looking forward to a Christmas where we can open.
You see, it's interesting. We often talk about the fact that premiers and governments throughout the pandemic have to juggle the challenges of the virus, but also the challenges of jobs and livelihoods. But I get the feeling, given how long people in Melbourne have been locked down, you've got to throw in mental health. As a matter of fact, mental health may be the #1 priority.
It's an enormous issue. I've had phone calls from people I haven't spoken to for 15 or 20 years who've rung me because I'm in politics, desperate for help. They're looking for help and assistance, and they don't know who to turn to. I think people understood the lockdown for the first weeks. As it goes on longer and longer, and the virus numbers have come down and the consequences have gone up so much, people are looking for change. But unfortunately, Daniel Andrews simply isn't listening.
So what do you think he's likely to do come Sunday?
Well, the funny thing is, Chris, not even Labor insiders know that. This government is being run by literally 2 or 3 people. So I don't know what he will do on Sunday. Labor people don't know what he will do on Sunday. And I think people are sick of the word game he plays every day where things might happen, then things might not happen. People want certainty. So whatever Daniel Andrews says on Sunday, he needs to give a clear pathway for the next 2 months as we move towards Christmas. People need something to look forward to. They're sick of being in their homes. They're sick of seeing their businesses struggle. We need to get back on our feet, and they need certainty to do so.
You know, apart from hotel quarantine, we mustn't kid ourselves. There have been bungles right across the months of this pandemic in Victoria. And you think about the juvenile way in which they contact traced and the things that they missed at the various abattoirs, etc. And I wonder what you thought of Peter Credlin's call. Forget about the Board of Inquiry. Move one step more and have an inquiry in the form of a Royal Commission into the lot.
That's our policy. We committed to a Royal Commission about a month ago. We think these issues need a full Royal Commission with the powers of a Royal Commission. And as you say, it's much broader than just the hotel quarantine fiasco. It's the contact tracing, the way we weren't ready for a pandemic when it hit us. So we were playing catch up the whole way through. The way that the department simply wasn't focused on the issues that need to be focused on. So you're right, there's lots of other issues, and Victorians deserve to get to the truth, to get to the bottom of what went wrong, so we can rebuild our system with the facts and recommendations.
Yeah, Chip LeGrand, who's a writer with The Age, has had a shot at Peter Credlin on Twitter this morning. And he's writing the fact that Peter Credlin is back interrogating Daniel Andrews at a press conference today. He writes, yes, she works as a broadcaster and is employed by a media company, but she is a partisan political operative. he says Mr Andrews is within his rights to tell her to bugger off. I'm glad he's not advising any government. I would have thought Peter Credlin does a little bit more than what Chip Legrand would do every day in terms of journalism.
Well, look, I think the point here is, Chris, that Victorians are frustrated that we still don't know the facts. And the way government works, if Daniel Andrews wanted to know the truth and the facts, he could find it. He set up this inquiry as a smokescreen, as a delaying tactic, and he still fails to reveal the truth and the facts. So anyone who can put questions to him that help us advance our knowledge and get to the facts should be welcomed.
Yeah. On a lighter note, you know, there's a trivia question doing the rounds today. Who made Victoria bitter in 2020? Daniel Andrews.
I haven't heard that one. I had a busy day in Parliament today, so I haven't heard that one. But I did hear your comments before. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, you can have that one if you like, Edward.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.